What's going on, people? So, as I said in the previous video, assuming you're watching these in order or at all, I'm going over a couple things that make sense to me with like kind of optimizing your little YouTube channels or whatever. So, this is the second video that I'm recording. I don't necessarily know that there's any real order to watch them in because they're all something that can just stand on their own. But just so you know, if this is the first video you're seeing, you missed one. I think I should have just said that. It's a lot easier. Anyways, this particular one, it's going to be more about like setting up your channel on the back end, right? Doing those technical things, right? Because you got to have that technical side worked out, right? The specifics worked out. Because that's going to help make sure those videos that you come to do later get seen by people. You know, it all works together. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna, as same with the last one, it's gonna be some pictures in here and all that to kind of give you some idea of what I'm talking about. But we're just gonna jump right into the layout first. So here's my thing. If I happen to go to somebody's channel, right, which is honestly it's a little rare nowadays because I don't seek people out. I just wait till somebody talks to me and then it's like, oh, this might be my new friend. Let's see. So I go and I check out a new channel, right? And I'm just going to use mine because it's already set up how I'm going to talk about it. But one thing that I find to be ideal is having a layout that shows people what you have going on with your channel, right? So you can get in there and once you click on that first tab, I forget what it's called, but it's just like the home section, right? And in there, for mine, if you scroll through it, you're going to see a video which if you're subscribed or non-subscribed, like you'll see one or the other one. And then you scroll on down and you're going to see like the popular uploads video or the popular uploads section. And I put that one first because in my mind, if somebody sees that section, they're going to go, oh, this guy has had some videos that were popular. Maybe he's worth watching, right? It's kind of one of those power moves. You know, I'm like, hey, check this out. I got a bunch of numbers, right? Some people buy into that. It's a thing. And then after that, I have the uploads line, which is basically just my most recent videos. Under that is going to be the upcoming live streams, if I have any upcoming live streams. So that's one thing real quick. If you are someone that goes live somewhat regularly, I would suggest maybe getting those things on there so that way people can see them, right? Because if someone knows you're gonna go live, but like they can't find the link to it and they don't have their notifications on, there's a good chance they're not gonna be in your live, right? So at least make it easy for the people that you want to watch your videos to watch your videos. Under that, I've got a section built off of playlists, and that is going to be the reviews and collection videos, right? So you just scroll through that, find whatever you want to watch. Then there's sneaker battles, which is a thing that happens from time to time around here, and some people do like those. It's not the main focus of my channel, but I put it out there because if somebody shows up looking for that later, they'll be able to see that I have had some other ones and they can watch other things, not just Chilltown versus whoever that was. I can't even remember at this point. But that's in there as well. So then moving on down, we have challenges and lists, which is basically like challenges that people have thrown my way, or you know, I like top 5 something of 2020, you know, things like that. So just a little bit of a diverse thing for people to watch, right? So there you go. All in all, like everything that people might want to see, it's all in there. And then they'll see all that stuff up front, and maybe in my mind they'll say, okay, you know what, there's a lot of stuff going on here, maybe I'll consider subscribing if this is worth it, but I can at least see what the dude has going on, versus if you just click on that tab and all you see is just the last couple videos you did, and maybe you're not in the greatest momentum type of section or whatever of your YouTube stuff. So maybe those last few videos didn't do so hot. I'm in that right now. I'm in that most of the time, honestly, because my videos don't always do great up front. And if you want people to look at something and take away something better from it, you just kind of want to show them something good first. You know, put your best foot forward or something. People say that, I think. After that, you got your channel tags, right? Because people aren't just going to show up. So if you go back into like the YouTube studio thing and click on settings and channel, right? You can add little tags in there that are supposed to help with promoting your channel. How much do they help? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. But if the option is there, I say you may as well go in there and do something about it. Put some tags in there that make sense for you. So if you do wrestling figure unboxings, put that in there. If you do those videos where you eat a bunch of food or whatever, put that in there. To put whatever in there makes sense based off of what you do. And don't be afraid to go back in there and, redo some of those once in a while, because, over time you might develop new interests. Also, one of the things, and I probably should have said this before, but your playlists, and this is, again, going back to like the whole channel thing, it's like, when I do reviews, right, sometimes people are interested in more things like that, right? So if I put up an Air Max Plus video, right, maybe people like to see Air Max Pluses, so at some point in the video, I'll link to my Air Max Plus playlist. So that way they can go to that playlist and just kind of look at and see, okay, what all else is in here? And then they can play off of those things, right? Also, it works out if I just have, say, all my Nike reviews in one playlist, or all my collection videos in one playlist. So you can go and you can see like the phones video, the 12s video, the ones video that where the syncing is so freaking terrible after the 13 or so minute mark. You can go see all those things all in one place. The advantage for you is that if somebody clicks on this playlist and they just kind of happen to walk away for a second, the playlist is going to keep going, right? So if you happen to have like ads or whatever playing, they'll probably catch those ads and then you catch some revenue out of it. So that's cool. And it makes it convenient for the other people. So it's kind of like a win-win for everybody in some sort of way. So that's just something to consider, is making sure you do your playlists. And if you're wanting to keep up with those, now it's a little more work than it was before. It used to be where you could go in there and you could just set up a little auto ad thing and you could have your videos based on whatever the topic was, or whatever the title was, I should say. You'd have them automatically go in there. If it has the word like Ultra Boost, you just have it go to the Ultra Boost reviews thing. They did away with that for whatever reason, but you can still just do a quick search in your studio and all the things that come up under that term. If you're back doing these playlists, you can click that little check mark to check all of them and then just add to playlist from there, and then they'll all be in there. So you don't have to do them all one by one, because that'd be ridiculous. And also, another thing, and these aren't in any particular order, but while you're clicking around and setting up your channel, if you happen to have over 100 subscribers, McFly, I'm talking to you, you are going to want to go in there and set up a custom channel, right? So that way, a custom URL for your channel. So that way, instead of people having to look for you or whatever, if you like hand out business cards with youtube.com/random string of numbers and letters, no one wants to see that. You can just put in there youtube.com/shoesupsleevesdown and be like, there you go, right? It also makes it easier on thumbnails and things like that. So go in there. That's going to be under the customization section within the YouTube studio, and then just click on basic info. It'll be off in there. Also, while you're in there in that particular section, you're going to want to look at the where your about section would be, right? So if on your actual channel, on about is the last tab, and it just is some things about your channel. A lot of people leave that blank for whatever reason. Everybody does what they do. I put some stuff in there so you can have an idea of what the channel is about, right? And I also put my little links in there to like the Instagram and what's that other thing? Twitter and Snuffs, because why not, right? The way I see it, if people show up and they're kind of interested in me in whatever way, maybe they don't want to necessarily be on YouTube all the time, because not everybody really does that. But they're willing to jump on Instagram and, say, oh, you know what, I'll just follow them over there and just look at some pictures once in a while. That'll be enough. So if you want people to pay attention to you, make it easy. Give them the links and leave it alone. So there's that for you. Also, while you're in there, you can set up a little section to have your links like actually displayed. So that's in there as well. Just something to consider doing. But that being that, I think that's as much as I really need to say as far as optimizing the actual channel itself. So we're just going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, if you have questions, because I know I kind of went through this fairly quickly, leave those down below or get with me. We can do a one-on-one thing on lives every so often. You can bring those questions there. Just don't not ask, right? Because then you don't know, and then that just sucks. So there you go. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll be back soon, for one, because I have the third video to do, and that video as well. But whatever, none of that matters in this particular moment. What does matter is me seeing later people so that I can move on with those things. So, later people.